Hey, it's Cherie from Big Notes Get Votes. I hope you are doing well. This is a little different today because I'm away. So I'm coming to you from a hotel room because I'm on the road for a gig, but I still wanted to come at you with the weekly live Q&A. And so today what we're going to focus on, and in fact for the rest of the month of December, are questions I get asked most often. And these come from my artists. When we start working together, I ask everyone to fill out an artist questionnaire, which has some well-being questions, it has some sort of like goal setting, and then it asks you what is your greatest fear or frustration when it comes to singing. So I've pulled some of these questions. So now from here on in December, we're going to focus on these questions. So if you have a question that you want answered, please pop it in the comments below. So today's is a lack of consistency, working too hard and not being able to hit notes. So that's a frustration for a lot of singers. And there are three parts to that. So let's break it down. The first one, consistency. When you prioritize the daily vocal care habits of sleep, hydration, nutrition, and that just means being mindful of any foods that might trigger any adverse reactions in you, excess phlegm, drying you out, as well as any medications that you might be taking. When you're aware of that baseline, then you can add on your daily vocal care habits, which are making sure you've got a hydration plan, and that can be steaming, nasal irrigation if you have some hay fever issues to clear out your nasal passages. It can be salt gargling, and then of course just making sure you hit the right amount of hydration. And there's a formula that you can use to work that out. It is on the higher end because I think singers are athletes, but that's what I want you to do. And the formula is your weight in kilos approximately times 0.03, and that'll spit you out a calculation of how many liters to have in a day. Now that's all liquid. So for example, with me, I have a 420 ml mug that I use to have my coffee in. I have two of those. I know that's a liter, but you know, no one likes a grumpy Cherie, that's for sure. And then I'll also have the same amount. I have like a Starbucks sippy cup, have the same amount, 420 mils of water, so that's 840 mils, and then I'll also have two of those 420 ml mugs of licorice tea. So it's a lot of liquid, and my goal is about 2.4 liters a day. Plus I'll steam, I nasal irrigate, especially when I'm busy, every single day. Sometimes if I don't feel I need to, I won't, but I'll try. I salt gargle, and I'm mindful of that hydration. Those are the care practices. The next thing is then steaming. So I have a gadget called the My Pure Mist, and this one's like a hands-free one, so it's called My Pure Mist Free. It uses ultra pure water, so completely sterile water with nothing in it, and you basically steam with that. And so I will do that 5 minutes at the beginning of the day, and then maybe if I've used my voice a lot just through speaking, definitely at the end of the day for 5 minutes. When I'm performing, I will use it as many times as I need throughout the day. So I'm about to steam, and then I'll steam after the gig tonight. Those are the sort of actionables in the sense of what you can do outside of making sound. And then the last one is to look at your body and release tension, and that's both through singer stretches, and I'll pop a link to my guided tutorial. It's literally like a workout video, but also some sirens, and I'll put a link to that as well. So that's a very gentle stretch for your voice, and it's like this. So I had a little gap at the top, so I'd do that 2 more times, try to ease out the gap, use my tools, my singer's toolkit to smooth that out. And there's almost like a siren checklist or a recipe checklist that I give to my artists to work with. That is what you need to maintain consistency in your voice, that care. Because what it does is it keeps all of the foundational elements at 0. So you always know that the baseline is looked after. So if you get sick, or if you're tired or not feeling well, you are able to really gauge very clearly what it is that's going wrong. So on top of that, to help with consistency, it's important to have a practice plan and be regularly working your voice. So when I think about working voice, I think about it from a vocal wake up, a vocal warm up, a vocal workout, and then a vocal warm down perspective. And that should definitely form a part of your everyday either practice, rehearsal, or performance process. The last thing is to vocal journal, because once you're in it and you're doing all of these things, you need to track so that you can see what might mess with keeping you consistent in your singing. And for women, it's often hormones, stress, and then all of those other things I mentioned: sleep, hydration, nutrition, any medical add-ons that you might be checking in. So unless you're tracking what you're doing and you're being consistent with the practices off stage, it's really hard to deliver consistently on stage. So that's my first tip about consistency. Keep everything consistent off stage and it will be much better on stage. And I know it sounds like obvious and a no-brainer, but I think it really bears repeating. So that's tip 1 for how to keep consistent. Come back next Saturday morning at 10:30 and you will see the answer to tip 2 about avoiding fatigue and not over singing. And then the following week I'm going to roll out tip 3, which is how to hit high notes. And all of this will be with consistency. If you need any help, pop a question below in the comments about anything that I've chatted through today, or anything that you might like to know more about that I haven't covered. And if you want some extra help, there are tons of links to all my resources in the comments. Plus, you can reach out to me by going to bignotesgetvotes.com, and on the homepage, you can book in for a chat with me. There's my calendar right there. And what we do is we have a quick chat about how I can help you and what the vocal development plan for you might need to look like. And then we can go from there. So I have online coaching, I have in-person coaching, and next year in February, I am launching an online course. So you can also sign up for the wait list for that using the link below, and you'll be the first to know when it opens. So I can show you everything I know in depth. And if you're checking this out on the YouTubes, make sure you subscribe so that you are the first to know about anything that's coming up. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great day.